in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to a Sarah Curley original test shoot here in our Southlake location. I'm so excited to jump around the studio. We have added a couple new little things into the studio that I want to draw your attention to. So first of all, this is my shot here. I'm sitting in what would be the host position in the dynamic setup that we have today. Behind me is the monitor. I will adjust this. So let's say that we have a client logo behind us. I can zoom in to come closer to me or zoom out just to show more of the screen. So let me show you what that looks like. 1 second. Okay, so as you can see, you have a little bit more of my adorable fuchsia pants that I got, oops, if you can hear me, at Target. I think these are kind of fun for spring. You can get a little bit of a preview of what our new addition is here. It's a little bit of this monitor that we can move in and out. But again, behind me is the big screen TV where we have our client logos. Got a little bit of the plants. And then I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what the rest of the room looks like. One more moment. Okay, so here I am again, and I'm joined in studio with nobody but myself, but if I had two guests, I would place them here. And you can see I've got another logo monitor right next to me. We can bring this in more to the foreground or a little bit farther away, closer to the windows. We can tilt it just a bit. I like the height of this because it is very visible. We can adjust the height a little bit, but if it drops down too much, it looks a little like homemade. So I do like raising the eye level up. I'm gonna go into what the guest positions look like, so 1 second. Okay, so here is guest number 1. I'm gonna bring this microphone closer and let's see which camera I'm on. It's hard for me to really gauge. I think I'm on this one, so hopefully I'm making eye contact. So here I'm comfortable. I'm able to talk to the other guest and of course talk to the host right next to me. So this is a little bit about what this shot looks like. And if I were to jump over to my second guest shot, here is the second guest shot. So I love how vibrant everything looks. I think we can tweak a little bit to make sure that the wall doesn't look so blotchy with the colors, but I do love how the colors bounce. I actually have the lighting, the overhead lighting off, so I can play around with that. You guys can see that here in a second. But this is an overall look of the wide shot. Again, we've got 2 monitors in this shot and our host, so it's like a full view of the room. All of the cameras are looking at me. If I could just show you. I have them in the doorway. I actually have the door open. I would have the door closed. Here's what this looks like, guys. Again, just kind of depending on how this person sits. I may sit like this. I'd have some pretty snazzy shoes on. Not these. But again, when I'm moving around equipment and stuff, I don't want to be in heels. I start to step and trip all over myself. Okay, so let me go to 2 guest shots, and they're isolated guest shots that we can have. We just need to kind of zoom in and zoom out. So let's see what that looks like. Hold on. I hope I'm saying that right. Here's a little bit about me here. And we're back. This is probably my favorite shot just because I love the depth behind me, and it is a very sunny day, but since we have our diffuser screens, they look really nice on camera. It's just a little bit of a soft glow of the buildings behind me. I can easily talk to the other guest here. I can talk to our host here, and I just love this shot. I think it's a really nice one. So now I'm going to adjust, and I don't know if I'm in complete perfect focus, so let me see if I can adjust that, because on the confidence monitor up above, I think I look a little blurry, so let me fix that. Okay, I think I'm much more in focus now. You know, when you're flying solo, things get a little tricky, but I did focus on the plant behind me, so I think it read, oh yes, focus on the person that's going to be sitting in the chair. Okay, so now I'm going to bounce over and show you what this isolated shot looks like. Sorry, I think I tricked you. This is not an isolated shot, but it could be. I actually have this as a 2-shot with a little bit of tech. You know, my dad loves the tech. So I do have a little bit of the tech if you wanted to see it, but I'm actually going to zoom in so you can see what it looks like without the tech and maybe a little closer of this guest and this guest. So 1 second, but overall, it's an interesting shot. I kind of like the 2-shot. Okay, so now I've punched way in. We've got this new ability where the screen goes up and down, the TV screen behind me. So I've lowered it. I could lower it even more. I get a little nervous lowering it, but bear with me. Here we go. But here's like what this looks like. You know, the plant's growing out of my head. I'll move the plant. Here's the other guest shot. All right, so depending on the logo, it's still behind me and it looks really nice and vibrant, but I can lower the monitor to see what that looks like. And then I'm talking here, hello, and then I'm talking across. Okay, so it also kind of depends on where this person's sitting. If I'm seated all the way back, looks a little different, doesn't it? But if I'm seated properly, seated straight up, you know, it's comfortable. This is why I chose these chairs, is because when you have to sit up, sometimes you don't know where to put your hands. And I don't mind when a client or a guest has their hands just kind of hanging out here. It actually helps me like not wiggle around, but you know, they're just here, or I could sit like this. But that is the monitor right behind me. Now I'm gonna raise it all the way up and show you what that looks like, where it's not quite in the shot, but it is. Does that make sense? But we have manipulated our logo, so we have a beautiful cityscape behind me, and then we have the logo like up, kind of like Batman, like looking at Gotham City. But it's our logo's off to the right, so it's definitely not interfering on anybody's shot. It's just a nice creative way to accentuate your logo, but also have something interesting behind you. Oops. I really like the Dallas skyline behind us with our logo. I just think it's very interesting, and it's on brand because location's in the Metroplex, right? So this is the isolated guest shot over here. Again, I can move the screen around. I can move the tech, this guy out of the way. I could even adjust the chair. But again, a very nice shot. I think what really makes this work is the screen behind me. You know, it looks to me intentional. It doesn't look like, oh, there's like the side of a TV screen there, because of the image that we chose. Okay, so that's been Sarah Curley's test shots around the room. Everything we can play with and adjust a little bit. This gives you a little bit of an idea.